Waldo Politics is now live streaming Just Chatting Trump Says Something Good Then Backpedals SCOTUS Drama Too. Getting started in a few min. Toss any links to stories or funny memes into the Discord. https Discord GG Beignet Tridix 8
Oh, hi. Hello. How you doing? My name is Waldo, and I am here to feel the politics with you. How is everybody today? I am doing good myself. It is nice and cloudy today, just the way I like it, just the way I want it. I don't want that sun, that grotesque day star, horrible, nightmare, gross day star that will give you cancer. I don't want it. I'm not here for it. Get it out of here. Give me the clouds. I like it when it's cloudy, and I'm only happy when it rains. That's just me, though. How's everybody doing? I'm doing okay. Today is Saturday. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to bring up a handful of headlines that I looked at and thought were interesting. If you saw any cool headlines and want to talk about them, pop them into the Discord right here. You can go right there. You can put links to stories, and I will bring them up on screen. We can talk about them. We can feel them all out together. That'll be fun. If you want to watch old videos, you can do so at the YouTube link.
YouTube. https://www.youtubecom at waldovideos.
You can go there and watch all the old videos and all the old streams and stuff like that. Very fun. I turn each stream into little bits so that you can watch. If you miss the stream, you can go there and watch just the little bits and focused on a single individual topic, things like that. And let's see, today, what else? Oh, anyway, go there, you'll watch YouTube. Now that all that's out of the way, we can look at the news. I got some headlines for you. Let's feel them out. All right. We're going to swap to the webcam screen. There it is. Biden widens lead in Minnesota. Biden's widening. I want to turn that into some sort of catchphrase, but I don't think I can. Biden's widen. You got a gap? Biden will widen it. Gross. I just like that it rhymes because I'm stupid. Biden's widen. Biden widens. Biden's widening the leads. So, we're going to do Trump said a good thing first. The first thing we're going to do today, Trump said a good thing and then backpedaled on it. Where did it go? Where'd you go? Link. I know I had a story up here that I wanted to talk about. There it is. Nope, not that one. Not that one. Yeah, here we go. Trump keeps flip-flopping on his policy position after meeting with rich people. Yeah, imagine that. This guy doesn't have any solid positions. He doesn't have any policies. He doesn't have any ethics or principles. Imagine that. Top CEOs were seen nodding their heads when Trump talked about finding ways to keep American educated talent at home. Ooh, that almost sounds like an intelligent thing to do. Donald Trump privately hinted at a shift in immigration policy at a business roundtable meeting last week. He told groups, we need brilliant people in the country, according to the attendees, who was granted anonymity to describe a private meeting. And when he talked about finding ways to keep American educated talent at home, some top CEOs like Tim Apple were nodding their heads. Tim Apple, head of Apple, obviously. The public move came a week later on the All In podcast, where Trump said foreign nationals who graduated from U.S. colleges and universities should automatically be given a green card upon graduation. Oh, my God. That's such a good idea. The people from other countries came here, went to a U.S. college, got a degree. They should be given a green card so that they would be incentivized to stay here and use that degree to better our country. You see, this is a good idea, which is why he's against it, even though he said it. It was the latest policy shift from a candidate who has proven equal parts hardline and chameleon-like over time. Trump's pivot on immigration followed the reversal on TikTok, embracing an app he once tried to ban, and a shift on cryptocurrency. He flops back and forth depending on who's standing in front of him and who's paying him, who he thinks he can benefit from. So I think this one, the foreign national thing, was an accident. I think he accidentally stumbled into a good idea. But don't worry, his campaign told him not to do that again. Trump's surprising promise to immigrants quickly retracted by the campaign. Donald Trump made a shocking pledge to help international students, only for his campaign to immediately add some caveats. No, we can't do that. Mr. President, listen. Donnie, listen. You said a thing that the people like. but we're Republicans. We're not allowed to do things that the majority like. No. We have to cater to our base 100% of the time. And that means no illegals, no foreign people. They hate that. So you got to go back on that. So the campaign puts out a actual, here's what we're going to do. Donald Trump made a very interesting immigration proposal, blah, blah, blah. We covered that. Appearing on the right-wing tech baron David Sachs, it's a departure from Trump's usual anti-immigrant rhetoric, and the statement came after one of the other podcast hosts, Jason Kalkinis, asked him to promise he will give us more ability to import the best and brightest. I do promise, but I happen to agree. What I'll do is you graduate from a college. I think you should get automatically, as part of your diploma, a green card to be able to stay in the country, and that includes junior colleges. This is a very liberal move. It really is, which is why they had to drive it back. If Trump was serious, it would open up citizenship possibilities to a large number of foreigners. There are about 1 million international students in the United States in 2022. So that's 1 million people a year, maybe. And those are foreign people getting green cards. The Republicans don't like that. They are not going to be on board for that. Hours later, issuing a statement to the New York Times that it would include an aggressive vetting process. They tacked that on at the end. Excluding all communists, radical Islamists, Hamas supporters, America haters, and public charges. So if you have certain thoughts in your head, you see, if you have communist thoughts, you're not allowed to become an American. If you have,
Thank you for following Caitlinkus009.
Caitlin, you just turned a frog gay. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Hope you're proud of yourself, turning a frog gay. She added the plan would... So yeah, if you have these thoughts, if you have communist thoughts, you're not allowed to get your green card. If you have radical Islamist thoughts, you're not allowed to get your green card. If you are a Hamas supporter, you're not allowed to get your green card. If you're an America hater or you're not allowed to have a green card. Public charges, that's a real thing. That's not a thought crime, usually. Public charges would be like committing crimes. That makes sense. But yeah, that's an opinion. That's an opinion. That's an opinion. That's an opinion. So if you hold opinions that we don't like, sort of like thought crimes, if you feel certain ways and you have certain thoughts in your head, then you're not allowed to get this green card. So we're going to have to vet these people through aggressive vetting process and find out if they have any of those thoughts. I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be great. What could possibly go wrong? Should put it on the screen so that you guys can see it. But I'm bad at my job. So if you hold any of these ideas, if you hold any of these thoughts, if you have those opinions, or you have anything adjacent to those opinions, if you said, please stop killing innocent babies in Palestine, well, then you're a Hamas supporter, aren't you? According to the aggressive vetting process. Well, you're a Hamas supporter and you can't have a green card. If you said, hey, rich people should pay their fair share, and you liked a Bernie Sanders tweet one time, well, then you're clearly a communist and you can't have your green card. Thought crimes. So they will just pick and choose which people they think that should get it, and it won't be 1 million a year. It'll be very, very, very few, even if the plan went into effect. I'm on board for the plan in effect completely. He didn't. Donald Trump didn't even put those caveats on there. His campaign put them on there later because he accidentally had a good idea. He accidentally stumbled into a left-leaning position. And they cannot have that. They will not allow that. If he accidentally bumps into a left-leaning position, they will deny it. They will shut it down. They will add aggressive vetting processes at the end because those ideas are not acceptable. You're not allowed to meet in the middle. Donald Trump is not allowed to come to the center. This is why I give independents so much shit. And I made a short not too long ago about independence and independence in the middle. They aren't allowed to exist, honestly. If Donald Trump says if Donald Trump says a thing that's not exactly on the right and according to their standards, they yell at him. They change it after the fact. They, not memory hole, but they warp it. They bend it around so that he's actually a conservative again. He says, hey, I want to give all these people who graduated from college a green card. And they're like, well, if they aren't communists, they bend everything around so that it comes back to the right. They bend everything to the right. I suppose that's what it would be, is they bend everything to the right. He says a centerline thing, and they're like, well, we got to bend it here, and that's over to the right, so that the right-wing people will vote for you and support you. Because they can't have nuance, I suppose. They can't be seen being in the middle, except that's what everybody keeps saying that he is. I don't know. It's complicated, and it's weird, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So there's that. So he said a good thing, and then he abandoned it. Well, he didn't abandon it, but his campaign goofed it up to make it worse. They could have had a good thing, but they chose not to have a good thing. So we're going to close that one, and we're going to go here. Talk about Trump some more. What the hell's going on with the Supreme Court ruling? The court's deadline to reveal a decision is next Friday, June 28th, but there are fears the conservative majority may have something more sinister up their sleeve. When is the debate? I got to look that up too. Is that also on the 28th? Mother of God. That could be the biggest news day in the history of the world. We're going to go over to Google real quick. When is the CNN debate? Let's see. Won't be a rematch. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. When is it? You have to tell me the date. Oh, my Jesus. Come on, CNN, dude. Just put a fucking date on it. I swear. June 27th. Okay, June 27th. So the day before. Wow. Okay. So the Supreme Court deadline, apparently, is the 28th. Deadline to release a decision next Friday, June 28th. But the debate is on the 27th. Do they release it a day early? They're allowed to. I mean, the deadline is 28th. They could turn it in tomorrow. They could update us and give us that decision tomorrow. But do they wait for Friday? Probably. They do like to release a lot of stuff on Friday. All the last bunch of decisions came out this past Friday as well. Will they throw it out there Thursday just before the debate? Oh, my God. That would be a huge day. I'd start stream early just so I could cover the SCOTUS stuff, then get primed for the debate. I will be watching that on Thursday, the 27th. So please join me there, and we can feel it all together. Live stream that debate. It'll be fun. So what is this story about? Now that we've got that settled, there are fears the conservative majority may have something more sinister up their sleeve. Oh no, the conservative majority will have something sinister up their sleeves. The Supreme Court released a slew of new rulings on Friday morning, but once again, none of them included a decision weighing heaviest on Americans' minds, whether Donald Trump should be granted king-like immunity for his criminal indictments. Friday marks 114 days since the case was accepted by the High Court, an inexcusable amount of time to rule on something so consequential to the country. A top legal expert says, blah, 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 yeah, great. Let's see. It's taken twice the amount of time to rule on Trump's immunity matter, an appeal court comprehensively rejected, than it took to rule on the much more complex United States versus Richard Nixon case, which took only 54 days. So, well, okay, they're slow walking it. Maybe this guy's suggesting that they're slow walking it because they like him, because they're biased, because they prefer Republican rule, and so they're bending the rules. Again, they're bending those rules to benefit him. The argument in Trump's case were so outlandish that it should have been easy for the court to dispatch with them quickly, one former Supreme Court law clerk said this week. Right, but this law clerk isn't taking into effect that they want to help Donald Trump, so it takes a while. Let's see. The court's deadline to release a decision is next Friday, June 28th, but Tribe fears the conservative majority may have something more sinister up their sleeve. Well, just a theory, he said it's possible the court is contemplating two things: slating Trump's case for a re-argument, which would delay things even longer, or potentially ruling that special prosecutors like Jack Smith, whose team brought the election subversion charges to the heart of the Trump's case, are unconstitutional. It would be a massive win for the MAGA movement. So this is, okay, so we have a few options for what's going to happen with this Trump case. So he could be found, they could uphold it, right? And it would be like, yeah, okay, he's not immune. Or they could really accept the cockamamie scheme that he's put together and say, yes, he is immune, or we could have a re-argument, whatever the hell that is, which will probably just make you say, hey, yeah, do the whole thing again. Start over from the beginning, in which case it will take years and won't be done before the election for sure, which means that if he wins, he can just make it go away. And wildly as possible, potentially ruling that special prosecutors like Jack Smith, whose team brought the election subversion charges, are unconstitutional. So Jack Smith is unconstitutional, and the hiring of Jack Smith is unconstitutional. Wouldn't that fuck up anything that any special prosecutor's ever done? I think that sounds wild, right? If they went down that route, wouldn't that make all special prosecutors in the past unconstitutional? But that would like goof up shit about 9/11 and George W. Bush and Trump's other issues. And then like Bill Clinton had a special prosecutor, I think. Did Richard Nixon have a special prosecutor? I think he did. Man, that could be wildly crazy, and it could echo backward, which would be weird and difficult. This is a wild time, and I think it could go very wrong, and it is weird and dangerous, and I don't love the fact that they get to be in charge of just everything. The Supreme Court just gets to do whatever the hell they want. You can't argue with it. If they make a decision, you just gotta deal with it. Fuck off. That's what it feels like to me. Maybe I'm overreacting, or maybe I'm looking at things too closely, but that's what it feels like. It feels like they're the high priests who just get to make decisions based on their own biases, based on their own preferred political outcomes. That's what it seems like to me. That's what I want the people to do. I want the people to do that. I want everybody to vote on what those political outcomes ought to be. That is what I like. I like democracy. It's a good idea. And I want to have the humans, the people who are affected by the laws and have to live under them. There's an awful lot of laws I have to live under, to be able to elect people to represent them and further their own ideas and stuff like that, and vote on laws and vote on situations. And we've got enough interconnectivity within online and ID verification, stuff like that. We can just vote on things. It's a good idea. And I don't think that the Supreme Court is voting on things. I think they're making decrees. And I don't like that idea. Sounds like they seem, and I've just now had this thought, they kind of seem like an aristocracy, you see? And I don't like aristocracies. We had an entire civil war, not civil war, we had an entire revolution, American Revolution, about breaking away from the aristocracy. We didn't want aristocrats making the laws and the decisions for us. It's kind of American, you know? The George Washington didn't like them. He probably was one, but he didn't like them. Or was he one? I don't know enough about history. But I'm saying that they did not like the aristocracy. And I don't like the aristocracy we have now. It's kind of getting to that point where I don't think the Supreme Court is connected to the voters and the people anymore. They've become detached. And that gap, that widening gap, makes things bad and difficult, and I don't like it. And it will lead to bad outcomes, I think. Sticking to the court cases, fake elector case in Nevada dismissed over venue question. State Attorney General vows appeal. This is not a good thing for democracy, I think. This was the case against Donald Trump using the fake electors in Nevada. I think he should be held lawfully.
Here's my hot question. Are trans people real humans? More like generations of detachment.
Generations of detachment. Yeah. Jay Vish, yes. They are people. You should treat them as such. Nevada judge dismissed the indictment Friday against 6 Republicans accused of submitting certificates to Congress falsely declaring Donald Trump the winner of the state in 2020 presidential election, potentially cutting off 3 or 4 the number of states with criminal charges pending against him, the so-called fake electors. So these people...
Are you trans?
No, I'm not. Are you? The Nevada judge. So this was, I think that if you go into the DMV with fake paperwork, it's illegal. But these motherfuckers went to Congress with fake paperwork, and that's fine. You're just allowed to do that, apparently. There's no law against it, apparently. And that means that we have a giant gap in our laws. You should be held responsible if you go to Congress with fake documents. I mean, that just makes sense. If you lie to Congress, that's illegal.
I might be don't know I got Joe Biden living in my head.
Well, if you don't know, you should should go out in the world, meet some people. Go to your local board game store. There will be trans people there. Talk to them and become friends with them, and they'll let you know. Nevada Attorney General Aaron Ford said he'll take the issue to the state Supreme Court after Clark County District Court. Blah, blah, blah. The judge got it all wrong. We'll be appealing immediately. But that delays this thing again. So the people who lied about who won the presidency don't have to face any kind of consequences. And I think that's wrong. If you give fake paperwork to the government, I think that could be a crime in some cases. And they weren't doing it out of an accident. This wasn't a oopsie doopsie, we slipped up and filled out the form wrong, or you put an X in the wrong spot on the form. This isn't an accident. This is intentional. This is willing. This is malevolent. They wanted to ruin the election and make it worse. They wanted to lie about who won. They intentionally, willingly lied about who won, and they turned in
Opinions
paperwork.
on Nico Omalana running to beat Rishi Sunak.
I don't know either of them. Rishi Sunak is middle of the road. I don't know who Nico Omalana is. I don't know who those people are. Those are British. I know Rishi Sunak is the prime minister over in England, and I think he did a bad job, right? England is it's kind of a failed country, They're falling apart, and nobody can fix it. The Brexit was a dumb idea, and it caused them harm, and there's no way to fix it. You got to struggle through the hard times, and when you live in a democracy, and you have hard times, the people in charge get blamed. There's nothing to do about it. You shouldn't have. This is why career politicians are sometimes a bad idea, because this guy wants to hold on to power because that's his career, that's his job, that's the job that he will do and that he wants to do for the rest of his life. If he's a career politician, but maybe he just wants to get his name out there and become a expensive lobbyist or something along those lines. I don't know if they do that in England, but career politicians are a dangerous thing. If he just cared about the country and just wanted to do the best, and then he fails, he can be like, okay, well, I failed. Sorry. I tried my best. Vote for this next guy. But he's tied to a party, as all parties are, and he wants his party to continue, and he wants his party to be in charge of the next government, and he wants more of his party to be in charge. It's a whole thing. But yeah, I'm not super up to date with the British stuff. I see some of it sometimes. Let's see. What else we got today? We've got, on the House floor, Republicans gag mentions of Trump's conviction. So, during official proceedings, the GOP-controlled chamber speaking about former President Donald Trump's felony conviction has been forbidden, while disparaging President Biden and Democrats is routine. Fantastic. This is amazing. The facts don't care about your feelings crowd will not let you say certain facts because it makes them feel bad, you see. When you point out the fact that Donald Trump is a felon, that makes them feel bad, okay? So you're not allowed to say that fact anymore because they're snowflakes, you understand? They're the snowflakes. You're not allowed to say the fact that Donald Trump is a felon. That hurts their feelings. And you're not allowed to hurt their feelings because they're snowflakes. This is amazing. You're allowed to make up any conspiracy theory nonsense accusation about Joe Biden. You can say anything you want about him, and it doesn't have to be true. You can make up any lie about Joe Biden you want and say it on the floor of the House. That's fine. But if you say true things about Donald Trump, you're held in contempt. They don't like you. They will not allow you to say that. It's amazing, and it's blatantly all about the Republicans' feelings, and they are snowflakes who will not.
Opinions on Putin.
Putin, terrible guy, terrible choice.
Your take is dumb.
My take is dumb. Oh, how come? Opinions on Putin. Putin he's a blood and soil kind of guy. That's what he wants. Russian blood, Russian soil, and he will take more soil and cares only about the blood of the Russian people. He's blood and soil. And that is not a good way to operate in the 21st century, honestly. He's got 18th century ideas, and NATO is a 19th century solution to his ideas. So he's just taking land that has ethnically used to be Russian people, and just annexing it. He's taking it from Ukraine because he thinks it belongs to him. And the people there, he thinks that soil belongs to him and his country, and he thinks the people there are of his blood. So he says that he will take it back. That's not the way you should operate in the 21st century, honestly. That's not good. And he's doing it by force. And what will probably happen, I think I talked about this yesterday, but love those motorcycles.
Would you say Putin is attractive?
Attractive? No, I'm not into dudes. Also, he's old. Wow. So yeah, what I think is going to happen is he's going to keep some of that land, just like he kept the Crimean Peninsula by putting a bunch of people there where he is and were loyal to him. And then, but this was back in Obama's days, right? And then he's going to say that it's ours. And then after a couple of years of them being there, he's going to take it militarily. And nobody wants to go to war with Russia over this small piece of land. And nobody wants to go to nuclear war over the Donbass either. Nobody wants to go to nuclear war over the Crimean Peninsula. It's a hard word to say out of my stupid southern mouth. And then nobody's going to want to go to war over the next place he tries to take, like Estonia or Latvia or some shit like that. Or any one of those Balkan places. He's going to try and just snatch up another one. And nobody's going to want to go to nuclear war over that. And then he'll just keep gobbling up things as he can until he dies or somebody else. And then they'll have a Soviet system set up again. They'll have all these little vassal states that don't want to be part of Russia. And then they'll try and break away. And then we'll have the Soviet Union thing all over again. We'll do the Soviet Union again. This time it'll be better. I promise. Bad promise. Don't like that idea. Let's see. What else we got? What else is in the headlines today? Okay, so we're still thinking about courts. Sotomayor issues dire warning on Supreme Court ruling on non-citizens. Justice Sonia Sotomayor dissented in the Supreme Court's latest marriage ruling and warned that same-sex marriage will be next on the chopping block. They're coming for it, is what she's thinking. In a ruling delivered Friday, the Supreme Court decided 6-3 that U.S. citizens have no constitutional interest in their non-citizen spouses being able to enter the United States. That sounds like a crazy sentence, right? Like, hey, you don't have any interest or constitutional interest in your spouse. That's weird, right? The way they lay it out there, it doesn't make much sense. Despite the fact that the married person has an inherent interest in their spouse being able to live in the same country as they do. Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor warned the ruling is an obvious sign the court will seek to overturn protections for marriage equality next week. Or not next week. Next. Sorry. I didn't say next week. She didn't say next week. She just said next. Sotomayor issued a dire warning in her dissent, accusing the conservative supermajority of chipping away at the constitutional protections for married couples and saying they're making the same fatal error as they did in Dobbs versus Jackson, the 2022 Supreme Court ruling that overturned federal abortion protection. So they came after that. They're going after the spouses of married people because they're immigrants, and they're coming for the
This is Nico
thing.
Omalana's manifesto. What do you think of it?
You can't put links into the chat, but feel free to toss it into the Discord.
Discord. HTTPS Discord GG Beignet Tridix 8.
If you would like to talk about that, toss it into the Discord so that you can put links in the Discord, and then I will look at it and we'll give it a look. The majority ignoring these precedents makes the same fatal error it made in Dobbs, requiring too careful a description.
I put it in general.
Okay. Yeah, totally fine. Super cool. I'll pop it on the list and we'll take a look at it here in just a few minutes.
Manifestos in general, they're blue.
Gonzo, not a big fan of manifestos. Well, there was a communist manifesto, and I'm on board for that one. The case involved Sandra Munoz, a U.S. citizen whose husband was denied a visa by the U.S. consulate in El Salvador. The denial came from a broad provision in U.S. immigration law that disqualifies a person from obtaining a visa if the consulate knows or has a reasonable ground to believe that the person is trying to enter the U.S. to engage solely, principally, or incidentally in unlawful activity. Her husband was denied because of tattoos he has, which a court-appointed gang tattoo expert later determined were not gang-related. So, Mr. Munoz goes to the consulate because he is married to a U.S. citizen and says, "Hi, can I come into the country?" Which should be allowed, I would think. They said no because of your scary gang tattoos. You are clearly a gang member. And because you are clearly a gang member, you are going to go here and be engaging in unlawful activity. They went to court. A court-appointed gang tattoo expert said, those are not gang tattoos. So he still got it denied. It went all the way up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court's like, nah, Sandra Munoz has nothing to do with this guy she's married to. That's insane, really, honestly. It seems more like more bias from the Supreme Court. And that's what I feel like. That's what I'm feeling. All politics is based on feelings, and everything is political. So it feels like they're being anti-immigrant just to be anti-immigrant because they don't want immigrants in the country. They want to tamp that shit down. Get rid of that shit. No more immigrants. Get rid of them. We don't like them. Stop letting them have loopholes through the law. Even though it's not really a loophole, I don't think that's a loophole. It seems like, hey, if you marry somebody, you should be allowed to bring them into the country. But that leads to chain migration. Folks, the chain migration, this is how it starts, is the immigrants marry American people, and then the American people sponsor them, and then they come into the country, and then they bring their wives and their kids and their grandkids and their grandma and their aunts and their uncles, and then we got chain migration. That's fine. I'm for it. Let's do it. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing, in fact.
Bitches come to America to try to exploit the systems, then they get put into prison and they act surprised. What an absolute blunder.
Right. But this guy has no connections to the gangs or crime. This guy seems, from the very little I read, to have a clean record. So it doesn't seem like he's done anything wrong. He went through the right paths. He married an American. The American married him, and so he would like to live in America. And they filled out the paperwork. They went to the consulate. They did all the things. They did all the steps. And then because of the tattoos on his arm, the consulate felt that he was a gang member. And then he proved in court that he wasn't a gang member. And they still said no, which your legal system isn't working properly then, is it? Not working very well. Let's see. What other things do we have? And here we go. Another one about alarm bells for Obergefell. Sotomayor pens a blistering dissent about SCOTUS marriage attack.
Legal systems USA's isn't so bad, is it?
I don't think it's that bad. I don't think the American legal system is bad. It seems to be focused mainly on evidence and stuff like that. But I honestly think, yes, I'm being biased here, the Republicans and the conservative judges are breaking it because they don't care about the law. The conservatives and the Republicans want the law to protect themselves and harm their enemies. That is what they want the law to do. That is what they want it to be, is a way to protect themselves and harm their enemies. So this immigrant person is one of the enemies. So the law cannot help him. It does not protect him. It harms him. That is the conservative brain, I think. On the law. These conservative judges want to protect themselves and their people and harm any outsider. Protect the in-group, harm the out-group. That is conservative law, in my opinion. And the legal system doesn't usually accept that. But now you got 6 conservative types on the Supreme Court who are just accepting it and bringing it up. And anytime somebody says, hey, you're not doing the thing with the evidence, they're like, nah, it doesn't matter. Harm the out-group, harm the out-group, harm the out-group. That's what they're doing with it. It's what it seems like they're doing with it to me. Anyway. So yeah, she's talking about that again. So we're going to close that one. Okay, so this next one. Here we go. Louisiana's new 10 Commandments law couldn't be any more constitutional. So if you haven't heard, Louisiana has passed a law that all public schoolrooms must have the 10 Commandments. By law, they must be in there. And they added a whole bunch of asterisks.
I have 20 commandments I'd like to add.
Yeah, let's add 20 more. Fuck it. But those aren't directly in the Bible, so they're not important. Those are your beliefs, Gonzo, and you have to just fuck off because this is a Christian nation. You understand? According to them, it's a Christian nation, and they need to have those 10 Commandments in every school. This is bait. Follow me. Listen. Yes, it's unconstitutional. I know that. You know that. Everybody knows that. This was decided by the Supreme Court back in the 80s, I want to say.
You'll write my commandments with the blood of my enemies on the wall, P.
Well, there you go. Divine right of conquest. Kissing Gonzo hasn't got it going on. This guy knows what's up. He's going to just murder everyone who disagrees with him. Then he'll be the conqueror. He'll be the king. He'll be in charge, and he can write his commandments however he likes. Good call. What was I ranting about? Oh, yeah. Okay, this is bait. This is bait. We all know it's unconstitutional. I know it, you know it, everybody knows it. This was decided by the Supreme Court back in the 80s. They want you to sue them. The state of Louisiana wants people to sue them over this so that it can go to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court, who is blatantly, obviously biased, as we just talked about 3 seconds ago, can uphold it and change the standing from the 80s. They can change the decision from the 80s. They will, what's the word? Roll back? Not roll back. They will ignore precedent. They will ignore the precedent of the 80s, and they will change the rules and change the laws because they are activists. You see, the conservatives on the Supreme Court are the activists. They keep screaming bloody murder about the activist judges. Oh, the right hates activist judges. We sure do hate those activist judges. No, they don't. Republicans love activist judges if they're doing the things that they want. That's the difference. You see, liberals in their dumb ideas think that the law should stand.
What is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentations of their women. Can't wait until the courts slap this 10 Commandment thing down. Fuck.
The courts aren't going to slam it down, man. They're not. The Supreme Court is going to be super on board with this. The Supreme Court is going to get this 10 Commandments decision and relitigate the stuff from the 80s and come back down on the other side and say you are, in fact, allowed to put your religion all over your school, even though it's owned by the government. Let's go here. I think this mentions which decision it was. In 1980, the Supreme Court struck down a pretty much identical law that required the posting of the 10 Commandments in every school classroom in Kentucky. The decision, Stone versus Graham. More recently, the decision...
What motivates them to come down on the other side?
Political bias. Kissing Gonzo. They want this to be the law. They want it that way. Just pure political bias. That's what they want with the law. That's what they want the country to look like. They have a feeling that that's what the country should be. The Supreme Court blocked the public display of the 10 Commandments, which is unmistakably religious purpose on public property here at a courthouse, and said that it violates the separation of church and state enshrined in the Establishment Clause. Jeff Landry knows about the law, the constitutional, bring it on, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Jeff Landry knows this law is unconstitutional. He said, bring it on. Jeff Landry is going to sue, which is exactly what the state of Louisiana wants. 65
Americans are going to punish the religious people law or not?
Maybe. I know what you're going for here. I'm an atheist too, so I don't know if you are, but I am. And I know that most of the people aren't religious, but most of the people are lightly religious. We celebrate everybody even if you're not going to church on a regular basis and you're not sitting into the pews every day, you celebrate Christmas. You know Easter's around. You have your kids do the secular bits of the religious holidays, things like that. That's generally American.
I am agnostic. Our government is secular. These people are smoking bad dope.
They don't want your government to be secular. They don't. And they got 6 Supreme Court justices who are Catholic. I mean, I think all of them on the Supreme Court are Catholic, aren't they? Even Joe Biden's Catholic. The Catholics run the judges in the country. Catholics are, I want to say a majority of the judges are Catholics. I can look up the number later, but a lot of them are. Too many, if you ask me, because I don't think that's a good thing to be talking to imaginary friends. I think that's a bad thing. They are making their moves. These are the moves. These are the moves that they're making. And it's coming.
I get it. They don't get a say. It's hard to imagine that some of these justices will avoid the consequences. I don't give up easy.
I know. And I think that they will make the law. I think Louisiana gets sued by this guy who's raring to go. He's jumping at he's jumping on it. He's absolutely suing immediately as soon as possible. Probably already filed some forms. That goes to the Louisiana Supreme Court, who then upholds it or something like that. Either side wins or loses, doesn't matter. If the religious side loses, they'll appeal to the Supreme Court. If the religious side wins, the atheist side the secular side will appeal to the Supreme Court, and it will end up at that Supreme Court where all those Catholics
fall to the other side and say everyone can have their own religions, they'll still protest.
Right, but what they're going to do is say you're allowed to put up the Ten Commandments because that's the American religion, you see? And that's against the First Amendment because guess what the First Amendment says is the government can't set up a religion. So we've got the First Amendment right here. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. So they're going to weasel their way in there. These lawyers in Louisiana are going to say, well, Congress didn't make the law establishing a religion. Our state did. I predict
more churches being burned.
It very well could come to that, so that would not surprise me at all. They're going to try and force this on you, and what they're going to do is that's an escalation that they're going to use as evidence that the secularists are dangerous and monsters. All they want to do, and they'll come at this in the very meek way that they usually do. The religious people don't usually. They don't start by burning and murdering all the things. They start by putting innocuous 10 Commandments in your school. And then when you say no, they take it to the court. The court decides the court's on their side. The court and the law are on their side. Well, how do you deal with that? Well, you start burning churches. And then you look like a crazy person. I'm not suggesting that you ought to burn churches, but you look like the dangerous one.
Great, well, get an agnostic month holiday.
Yeah, they'll give you an agnostic holiday. Yeah. Then you look like a crazy person because you're burning churches over words written on a wall, you know? And I would like for the government to be secular. That would be nice. The First Amendment suggests that the government ought to be secular, but they don't like that. You see, they have strong beliefs, and belief is the problem. I say it every single stream. Belief is the problem. Belief, if you have a really strong belief, you can just ignore all the facts. You can. Belief is a feeling, and you can ignore anything you want if you have a good, strong belief. You can fight wars. You can fight insane, illegal wars if you believe in the cause. You see, belief is the problem. I try not to have
There's
any
much
beliefs.
Evidence from our founding fathers that refutes entirely that our government is Christian. They can't deny our founders. They can try.
They do deny your founders. They believe that the founders were godly men, godly Christian men. They believe it. What are you going to do about that? You can't. They believe it. Belief is the problem. And this is the problem that I keep bumping into. They believe in trickle-down economics. Doesn't matter what the math says. They believe in Donald Trump.
Their belief is about to get smacked in more ways than they realize.
And that's where the violence comes in. Yes, they believe certain things. They believe in trickle-down economics. They believe Donald Trump, whether it's true or not. Doesn't matter what the facts are. They believe that there should be a wall on the southern border. They believe, if you listen to a Republican politician, they say believe a lot. This is our beliefs. This is what we believe. We believe in a small government. We believe in a wall on the southern border. We believe in a certain immigration policies. They say believe a lot.
Not the violence, the litigation, the new major problems that will result.
Oh, I think the litigation is going to come down on their side, not mine. The Louisiana knows this too. That's why they're doing this. That's why they passed this law in Louisiana, because they want it to go to the Supreme Court, and they think that the Supreme Court is going to come down on their side. This isn't an accident. This is chess. This is a move that they have put together. This is a the secularists are going to check them and move their pieces into place, and then the Supreme Court is going to move those secular pieces off the board and allow the Louisiana law, at which point all the other states absolutely jump on board, just like they did with the abortion thing, just like they're going to do with the gay marriage thing. That's what's going to happen.
This is a loss of liberty. Maybe it's time to water the tree of liberty again.
I know what you're saying, and I do think it is a loss of freedom, yes. I think it is a loss of liberty. It is a loss of freedom. And Republicans don't mind that. They like that. They prefer their order, to human freedom. This is a more important thing to them. They're okay with freedom. They're not anti-freedom. I'm not going to say that they want everybody to do exactly what they say, but they want their form of order to be more important than, it's higher on the hierarchy than human freedom. I don't put them in that order. I put human freedom as the most important quality. And then if you're harming people with that freedom, then we can create laws to minimize that harm or prevent you from causing harm to other people's freedoms. So they don't organize their brain, their thought structure that way. Order, first and foremost.
We don't need more parties in the country. We need those that belong to a party to rationalize their membership. Maybe they'll just leave once they realize the lack of power they really have.
Who, the religious people? No, I mean, they're kind of winning right now. They're winning. And I don't like to say that, because 10 years ago, I wouldn't have imagined that they could have won. But Donald Trump, he empowered the believers, you see. He made it cool to ignore facts. He made it cool to ignore reality. He made it cool to fight against observable facts. He made it cool to believe again. And once they believe, they can do anything they want. And it doesn't matter whether it's real, it's true, or it's constitutional. This law is anti-constitutional, but they don't care, because they believe that it is constitutional. Doesn't matter what it says. Doesn't matter what the facts are. They believe that it's constitutional.
All Americans that belong to a party, either Dem or Repub, there's no benefit to belong to a party, as there it's a lie to have value as a Dem or Republican other than emotional kicks.
No, I know that is a very common thing for people online to say, but I'm okay with the idea of parties. And I know that makes me crazy, sound crazy to a lot of people. You can't keep track of all of the politicians in the world. You can't. And you can't keep track of all the ones, even in your district. Most people don't know who their representative is in Congress. I'm not asking you to dox yourself, but do you know who your representative is? And if you don't, why? Because it doesn't matter that much. They belong to a party that you either vote for or vote against, for one party or the other. And the idea is that you know what they're thinking.
If we reduce party membership, then both parties will be forced to act differently to gain votes. This is power to remove their influence.
I don't think so. Because what I'm getting to is, you know that
Sorry
you're
to
in
interrupt.
No, you're good. You're good. I love this. This is fun. You're either in a red district or a blue district or a purple swingy kind of district. But generally, you know if you're red or blue, honestly. You know whose ideals you fall into. I agree with just about all of the blue ideals. Not because I want to be blue. I didn't say, hey, I sure do want to be a Democrat. Let me find out what they think and then adopt all of those policies. No. I looked at the issues, found out who I agree with, and I tend to agree with the blue most of the time. I want them to be further left, but that's just me. I'd rather them not be in the center. I want them not to be a center-left party. I want them to be a leftist party. But those are my personal ideas.
I vote my principles. Who's going to do the job to help people doesn't matter which party. It's the skill set and the ability to influence. Has nothing to do with party for me.
I can respect that. I can appreciate that it has nothing to do with party for you. But what about the people who don't pay attention to politics? Which I think is most of the people in the middle. The people in the middle don't watch the news. I mean, I'm talking like a straight down the middle, watches TV at night, has a job, born in America, has a job, 9 to 5, does a bunch of hard work, pays their taxes, comes home, watches TV, goes to bed, has a couple of kids. They're not watching the news. They're not in online debates. They're not watching political streamers. They're not paying attention to the politics. I
Yeah,
want them to vote
Americans
too.
that go to church on Sunday only.
Or don't go to church on Sunday. I'm talking they're a Christian, basically, but they do Christmas, they do Easter, and they never even go to church. They're functionally agnostic, if you ask me. But if given the chance, hey, are you a religion? Kind of Christian, I guess. I mean, Jesus is a thing, right? They've heard the name Jesus. They don't know who he is or what he does. They just know, hey, he's the religious guy. There's a Bible. Great. There's a lot of people like that in the country, I think. They call the news will call them independents, but I don't think they are independents. I think they are just the busy, the uninformed, the busy, the people who don't care to wade into this mess. I love this mess. This is fun for me. I'm having a great time. Thank you. So what do they do? If they're just voting on the person they'd like to have a beer with, that's a terrible choice. That's a bad plan. Who do they kind of like the best? Who looks the coolest? Who they're not thinking about who can do the job, or if they are, they're putting it on superficial means. They heard a mean thing about Donald Trump. They heard a mean thing about Joe Biden, and they're kind of just voting on whichever grandpa they like the best. Not a good plan. I'm okay with the parties because they would give you an idea of which policies are which. I know it's simplification, but just about every issue you can be for or against. Yes, there are 1,000 shades of gray, but when you really boil it down...
Populists are nasty because they're lazy. They chose based on shallow sentiments.
Well, I don't think I'm describing populism. Populism is a thing that I don't know if we're agreeing, you and I are agreeing on what a populist is right now. But what I'm saying is that just about every situation can boil down to for and against. Just about everyone. Yes, there's gray in the middle. Abortion is one of them. You're either for it or you're against it. Okay? Yes, there's gray area in the middle. Well, I'm for it up until like 15 weeks, or I'm against it when it's 8.5 months. The gray area. I dig it. I understand. I recognize why you would be gray in that situation. But like taxes, there's a gray area there. You're either for taxing the rich or you're against it. You're either for gay marriage or you're against it. There's not much gray area in that one, honestly. That one doesn't have a whole lot of gray area. Well, I'm for people living together, being domestic partners, getting then you're for gay marriage, honestly. What other contentious topics do we have? Guns, usually you have a for or against.
I am for post-birth 60 years old middle American white men and Senate abortion.
I might meet you in the middle on that one. So most arguments are a for and against. And because of that, parties naturally occur. Parties are a natural thing where you get all the people who are for a certain situation in one group. The people who are for abortion all meet together and decide and put together push the message that they have. And then all the people who are against it meet together and say no, never, and stuff like that. Or let's take a less contentious one with less gray areas. I think that there's a million gray areas in the abortion, but the gay marriage. So we'll take that one. There are people who say, yeah, it's freedom and you should be able to do it. So they all form up to support a candidate. And then the people who are against it all say, no, it's terrible. It's a sacred, holy raiment kind of thing. And it's against our religion. We're against it. And so we're going to support this guy. That's a party, just in a smaller proto party. It's a smaller proto party, honestly. And then the politicians reach out to people and say, what do you think about this issue? And politicians don't vote on one thing. It's not like, hey, we sent one person to rep just this one issue. They have to represent all the issues. So AOC has to have an opinion about taxes and marriage and the war in Afghanistan and the war in Iraq and the war in Israel. And she has to have a position on gay marriage and states' rights and guns. She has to have an opinion on all of those things. And it is very difficult for you as an individual to keep track of all of the people and all of the things that they have going on. So the parties naturally form of people who are blue and people who are red. If you are mostly red, you can safely vote for the red person. They will most likely agree with you. I don't think parties are a bad thing. I think the first past the post is a bad thing. The election system is the problem. The election system, where you have to get 50% plus one vote, is the problem. That forces parties to exist. It really does. You cannot have a third party without a complicated runoff issue and maybe even spoilers. RFK Jr. is spoiling for one side or the other right now. I used to think he was going to ruin it for Joe Biden. Now I think he's actually going to ruin it for Trump. I think because of his lunatic ideas in his conspiracy brain, RFK Jr. is actually going to harm Donald Trump and his fans. There are people who are like, hey, that Trump guy, all the bad things they're saying about him on the news, I'm going to vote for RFK Jr. He's also a conspiracy theorist. He just doesn't have the convictions, and he doesn't have the hush money payments, and he doesn't have the fake electors plot. So RFK Jr. is going to get my vote instead of Trump. I think that's what's going to happen. That's just my guess, but it's still early. It might not happen yet. It might happen later. Or I could be wrong, or the wacky shit could happen, and then it'll go a different direction. How did I get here? Parties, yes. First past the post forces parties to exist. It really does. If you want to do a more, what was that other thing? The ranked choice. I'm on board for ranked choice. Only one side is talking about ranked choice. It's not the fucking Republicans, man. Only the Dems, only the left are talking about ranked choice. So I'm going to vote for them. Ranked choice is a good idea for me. There's for ranked choice and there's against it. The Republicans are against it right now.
I am dismissing all of MAGA's claims with ease. They have no valid arguments, therefore I throw hot dogs.
That's a good stance to have. I'm on board for it. But yeah, there is only one. There's the issue is
ranked choice is
ranked
smarter.
choice.
It may not work everywhere.
Ranked choice, I think, is a good idea, and there's one party that's against it. There's one party that's for it. That's natural.
Check out Waldo's videos, https://www.youtubecom at Waldo videos.
And yes, am I being biased? Sure. But I am biased towards human freedom. And one of the parties is more on board for human freedom. It really is. Do they also have problems? Yeah. There's 1,000 things I don't like about Biden, but there's 100,000 things I don't like about Trump. So am I choosing the lesser of two evils? Yes. But I have to. That's how first past the post works. It's how it's always worked. Choose the lesser of the two evils. Let's see if we got any other news. Okay, since we're talking about the Constitution, here we go. I do have, there's the Ten Commandments thing. There's the First Amendment of the Constitution.
Ranked choice reduces the ability for the Republicans to manipulate. Of course, their against eliminates or reduces their cheating.
Yeah. And we've got this lovely lady saying something crazy. So what I'm going to do is turn the text-to-speech off for a minute. There's a complicated reason, but I have to turn it off, and then I have to turn the volume all the way up so that we can hear what this lovely lady has to say. And go.
Yeah, and passing notes. Look, I think that we have to get over this fantasy of neutrality in institutions and schools. You either impose a Christian value, or that vacuum is going to be filled by something else, by somebody else's values. And right now, those are the values of the teachers' unions. Those are radical, progressive, secular communists.
Oh my God. So and I think she's on to something. She's just on the wrong side. She's telling you that either Christian stuff goes, you either teach children Christianity or they will be taught secularism. Then teach them secularism. That's the right answer. You're the wrong answer, lady. And I think she's onto something there. She's right. She's saying that you either get Christians or you get non-Christians. And for and against, again, there's two sides to this issue, as usual.
They have a crazy curriculum. They are not interested in educating our children. Mind you, our kids are the laughing stock of the world because our schools are falling apart. They don't teach anybody anything. Instead,
the schools are falling apart because the Republicans won't give them any money.
They want to sexualize your kids. They want to politicize
Nonsense.
your kids. They want
Nonsense.
to turn your kids into activists. And that's what we're doing. And we have been so passive. We have basically turned our children over to these people because we want to be polite and we don't want to offend anybody. And we've turned them over like little lambs to the slaughter.
That's not the position I've ever seen a Christian take. I think they've been storming the school boards for years now, screaming about nonsense and conspiracy theories. And they're poor victims. Yeah, Gonza, good call. Poor victims. You see these, we just gave our children to the state because we thought the state had the best interests in heart, but they're teaching them to be secular instead of hardline mainstream Christians and believing in the Ten Commandments. Yes. That religion is a sham. It always has been. I'm sorry. There's no such thing. It's not real. And when you start measuring things in reality, you find out Christianity is kind of not real. So when you call it Christian values that crumble, yeah, exactly. Poor victims of a valid system of strong and effective, you won't have to use the government to force your bullshit belief system. Yeah, exactly. If Christianity was severely beneficial to people, you're right, we would be flocking to it. But we're not. We're flocking away from it because it is not beneficial. It is not helpful. It is not helping the people who need help. It is not doing the things the people need doing because it is a belief system that is not based on reality.
And it's time to take it back. I'm really proud of this governor. You know, it's hardly enough, posting the 10 Commandments. Is it going to teach anybody anything about what you said earlier or the fact that the 10 Commandments are the foundation for our legal system, which, was the greatest in the world?
It's not the foundation for our legal system any longer. We moved beyond it. You can say, maybe, hey, these 10 Commandments are laws. Yeah, great. It's a list of things that you are to do and not to do. That's a law system. But we have moved beyond it. We have removed the godliness from it. We have removed the religion from it and gotten to a better, secular version of the law. That is better.
Until this whole Trump thing happened. But
I kind of agree with her there. Hang on, I'm going to rewind it.
In the world until this whole Trump thing happened.
Hang on, one more time.
For our legal system, which, was the greatest in the world until this whole Trump thing happened.
I'm agreeing with her ironically. We did have the best legal system in the world until this whole Trump thing happened. I agree with you. But from the other direction, we had a good system. We had a country of laws, and Trump ruined it. He did. He broke it. He destroyed it. And it is no longer a system of laws anymore. It's a system of beliefs. It's a belief system now. Common American values, including individualism, equality, democracy, liberty, hard work, patriotism, and diversity. These values emphasize personal autonomy, equal opportunity, civil engagement, personal freedoms, perseverance, national pride, cultural inclusion. These values discussed specifically will eliminate the attempt to thwart their meaning. Yeah, individualism is, I think, a bit of freedom. Equality is good. Democracy is good. Liberty, I'm on board for. Hard work, patriotism, and diversity. Yeah, great. These values emphasize personal autonomy. Yeah. But they don't want personal autonomy. They want what they want. They want everyone to be like them. They want all the people to follow their rules and their stuff and be like them so that you can be homogenous, so they can know what's around the corner. They won't talk about these values. They will talk about the platitudes that come along with them. Yeah, absolutely. Correct. So I'm agreeing with her, but from the other direction. We had a good system until Trump broke it. Trump's followers ruined our legal system. They are continuing to ruin our legal system. The people he put on the Supreme Court are going to decimate our legal system. The laws won't be laws anymore. They'll just be feelings. If the Supreme Court feels like gay people shouldn't be married, then that's just how they'll rule. And they will find any reason they can. It doesn't matter what the reason is. It doesn't matter what the facts say. It doesn't matter that all those people are already married in the country right now. Doesn't matter. They rule on their feelings, nothing else. Trump just exposed the holes and loopholes. We just need to close them. Yeah, you're right. There are a lot of things that he chose to do that normal politicians wouldn't do because we wouldn't support them anymore. He gets special support because, again, he is all based on feelings and beliefs. Damn it. I had this one ready to go. and then the thing uploaded. Where did it go? Damn it. I wanted to hear that guy talk about the thing. Damn it. Wait, is that it? Nope, that's not it. Damn it. Damn it. I had it ready to go. I loaded it up, got it ready for stream. Now it's broke. Dang it. Anyway, it was the Louisiana governor, or that, it was the governor of Louisiana saying that there is no separation of church and state in the First Amendment. I disagree. It definitely is there. Congress shall not set a law to establish a religion. He's going to weasel out and say, well, I'm the Louisiana, can I do a Louisiana accent? I'm the Louisiana governor. I'm not the Senate. I'm not the Congress. The Congress shall not, but I'm not a Congress, you see. And I'm going to fix the volume. Okay, here we go, volume. And then I'm going to turn the text-to-speech back on. So anything you type from now on should, the lovely Lady Canooch should read out.
Canooch.
There she is, lovely Lady Canooch. And that's about all the things I had today. Ooh, I've still got a manifesto to read. I know that it was a while ago that this guy linked it. It was, who was it? It was JV11 who put this manifesto in there. I don't know who this person is, but it apparently is some sort of British politician, and we're going to read their manifesto. Sorry you had to wait, but I had to get through the stuff and all the links I had. So we're going to pop that up there, and then we're going to hit enter, and then we're going to read the manifesto of Nico Omilana. I don't know who this is. I don't know if he's a bad guy. I don't know if he's a good guy, but we're going to find out, and we're going to feel it together. So let's react to this. Let's get the window capture going. Come on, window capture. That it? There it is. All right. So let's feel this together. David Attenborough to voice all national rail announcements? That's just like an actor, right? He wants an actor's voice on all of the national rail announcements. I don't care. If you want to pay him to do so, then fine. But the taxpayers could argue with you and say, hey, that's a waste of money. Dave Attenborough is too expensive. Get somebody cheaper. Sky TV will be made free for all struggling future prime ministers. Okay, this is a meme guy. Buckingham Palace will be available on Airbnb. Okay, this is a meme guy. Potholes will be fixed and not just left for months for no reason. Have you ever worked with civil infrastructure before? I don't think you have, meme guy. Introduce podcast licenses to stop everyone making one. Memes. I'm not even going to read the rest of this, honestly. Who linked? JV Shish 11. I don't know if you're still in chat, but this is a meme guy, which is silly and fun, but he's not serious. It's great. Thanks. I read the first 4, and they suck, and he's a meme, and he's a joke. And if he gets elected, he will do nothing. Or he will be persuaded by the fascists to do dumb things. So there's that. That was fun.
Listening and taking it and doing a few other things too.
He's just a meme and a joke. He's Vermin Supreme in England. He's the English Vermin Supreme. No reason to pay attention to him or think about him at all. Should I read through the fine, I'll read through the rest of the manifesto. Okay. Oops. I'll read through the rest. Okay. It is a meme, but let's have some meme fun. And I have a few more minutes before I have to leave. So we'll look at it anyway. Okay. I disregarded him entirely. This is all meme content and not interesting or funny. Well, I mean, it might be funny, but it's not realistic. I will make sure England wins the Euros. That's another meme. Great. Turn the House of Lords into one big affordable housing unit. Meme, but not a bad one. Huge celebration for Rishi Sunak's 44th birthday. Who cares? Politicians age 44 to be sent directly to the front lines. Memes, top inserts to be introduced at the House of Parliament, but your search their web history. Maybe. I'm on board for that. The CIA should be tracking all of the politicians. Or the British's version should be tracking all politicians. All Premier League games to be streamed on one platform. Meme. Man City to face the full wrath of their 115 charges and banished out of the footballing pyramid. Meme, any restaurant funding warfare to be shut down and turned into food banks? How many restaurants? Is that a problem in England? So, I need an English person to tell me, hey, you got a whole lot of restaurants funding
I confess
warfare?
I might have made incels and haters cry more than once.
Prince Andrew and nonces to be given rights and lefts with the hands. Meme, London to be stripped of capital city status after falling to elect Nico Milana as mayor in 21. Meme, Richmond and North Allerton, fuck England, North Allerton, to become joint capital cities. Meme, anyone with the name Tommy Robinson to be forced to change their name to Abdi Muhammad. Meme, Wonderwall to become new national anthem. Maybe I'm here for it. I could be convinced. Birmingham accent to be recognized as a different language. Meme, but maybe I'm here for it as well. DNA test the BBC to see if they are truly a BBC. Meme, free transport for under 18 and over 65, uni students included. Why are you going to throw a good fucking idea in between all your memes? Tory headquarters to be relocated to Rwanda. Meme, Eld, Christmas, Diwali, Veleshka, and Yom Kippur to become bank holidays to celebrate the culture of your country. I don't know if he is secretly racist. Is he secretly being racist? I don't know what he's doing there. Price of the Freddo to go back down to 5p. I don't know what either of those things are. How many is 5p? Is that a lot? Is that not much? I don't have any idea. What's a fucking Freddo? I don't know. This is very British, and I don't like it.
Looks like he's just having fun with ideas.
Yeah, he's memeing, but he's also actually might be running. So this is the downfall of Western civilization, where clowns get more attention than serious contenders. I have said it before, Donald Trump is a literal clown. And I mean literally a clown. I'm not being facetious here. I'm not being silly. Clowns have crazy hair. Donald Trump has crazy hair. Their hair is a weird, unnatural color. Donald Trump's hair is a weird, unnatural color. They have painted faces. Donald Trump has a painted face. They wear clothes that don't fit properly. Donald Trump wears big, baggy clothes that don't fit properly. Clowns go in front of the crowd to amuse them. So does Donald Trump. Clowns go in front of the crowd to tell jokes, get laughs. That's what Donald Trump does at all his rallies. He is literally a clown.
Good seems.
Yeah, seems right. He is our Joker president. He's the Joker, baby.
The real question, how serious is he about his ideas? You're right, the absurd and arbitrary have become mainstay. More pussy and money for me, all is good pee.
Right, and I don't know who this politician is from Britain, but somebody linked his manifesto, and it's just filled with memes and jokes, which is fun if you're a streamer. If you want to look into the camera and tell jokes, great. Be a streamer, be a politician, be Jon Stewart, who makes jokes about the news. Great. But don't run on memes. It will end badly for all of us. So you get a Donald Trump who just says the memes, doesn't care what it means.
Good distinction.
Yeah. He doesn't know what policy is. Donald Trump doesn't know what policy is. He just knows how to make the crowd cheer. He doesn't give a shit about policy. He doesn't give a damn about the way the laws are written. He just says vaccines are bad, and then the crowd cheers. That's all he knows. He just says, drain the swamp. He doesn't know what it means. He doesn't have any idea. There is no value to it. There's no ethics behind it. There's no principles in Donald Trump's words. He says the ones that make the people cheer. That's his plan. That's this other British guy's plan. Olamar, what was his name? Olamar, whatever his name was. That's what he wants. He wants to say the funny thing, have the people cheer, and then get elected, maybe. Maybe he's just goofing. Maybe he's a vermin supreme. Maybe he knows he can't win. But if he's in an actual position to win, I don't like it. If he's just goofing, maybe fine. Goof on TV, goof on the online, goof on Twitter. That's fine. But the real work needs to be done by real people who are really interested in doing it. And I mean, I guess it's always been that way. There's an old saying about American politics.
Social and political vandalism is appealing to misanthropes and miscreants.
Right. They'd rather complain about the problem than sincerely look at the problem and come up with a solution, because it's easier and fun. Sarcasm's fun. I agree. I know. I get it. I do it all the time. Sarcasm is tons of fun. But at some point, the adults have to take over and do the work that needs to be done to run a country properly. And this guy's just kidding, because he's a kid. So that's about that. Let's see. So what am I going to do? What is times? It's 11:14. I could play a video game and leave TTS on and talk to people. So I think that's what I'll do. I'm going to start up my Steam, and I'm going to start up Vampire Survivors.
I've learned something the hard way. Sometimes we have to be guided when we don't want to. It's tricky to get folks to line up for their own best interests.
Right. You have to convince them of what that best interest is. And then you have to make them believe it, because most people are believers. They're not actually interested in facts and logic. The Republicans say that they are, but they're incorrect. They are playing with them, with their words in a way that is disingenuous. Most Republican conservative types will tell you they use facts and logic and common sense, but you know what common sense is? Their feelings. Any Republican tells you they're using common sense. That's just their feelings, man. Common sense for Republicans is just feelings. It always has been. So, what else we got? We're going to start up a Vampire Survivors. I'll play a round or two of that and then call it off for the stream. So, if you're watching, if you're paying attention,
I read earlier language is used for communication mostly and not really designed for thinking.
Yeah, I know. I would agree with that that situation as well. If you're watching, if you're paying attention, hop into the chat. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you're feeling. Give me all your hot takes on just about anything. Anything political, anything media. And I can tell you my thoughts on it. If you have any hot takes, any feelings, toss them in there. If you want to send me links, you can do so in the Discord.
https Discord GG Beignet Tridix 8.
If you want to watch old videos or become a YouTube subscriber, if you don't have time for all these live streams, you can hop into the YouTube.
https www.youtubecom at waldospoliticalstream.
And I trim down the streams and put all the best parts into a YouTube video. If you're busy, if you got shit to do, I understand. Go to the YouTube page and you can watch shorter videos and not such long live streams. And yeah, come on, game. It's almost there. It's almost ready to go. Flip over here, turn off the webcam, turn on the game capture, and then finger flicks.
Thanks for doing the work and time.
Oh, my pleasure. This is fun for me. This is what I do for fun. Because I'm a crazy person too. Go finger flicks. Okay, I think I loaded. It's just that the game hasn't started yet. Yeah, the game is still loading. So it should appear in just a sec. More finger flicks. If your computer doesn't work, flick your fingers at it. See? Told you. Always works. And let's get that started. I have chat up. So yeah, give me your hot takes. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you're feeling. If you got any questions or ideas or wild political theories, hit me with them. I love wild political theories. I make them all the time. Oh, gotta make it big here so I can see. And we got a new character the other day, Lucia. Lucia has a new gun that I've never seen before. So we're going to go to this level down here, Neogaluga, and go. So what am I going to do? I'm thinking that in the future, my YouTube page doesn't get a whole lot of views. Just not politics is boring. I dig that. Everybody knows that. Not a big draw to a lot of people. So I might begin critiquing other media, because I made a Star Wars video the other day. Got like 1,000 views and lots and lots and lots of hate. Lots of hate. If you ever need to wade into the culture wars, you do so through Star Wars, obviously. And so I made a video about Star Wars because it was politics, there's a new Star Wars TV show and everybody's talking about it. So I made a video about it and it got a lot of views. And do I want to make more media videos rather than just politics stuff and video games? Maybe. So I'm thinking about watching more movies and discussing them through a political lens, that kind of thing. I know that that's a thing that happens on YouTube already, but I'm me and I like it. So when I watch a TV show or a movie, I see the politics anyway. Do other people see it, and should I talk about it? So that's what I'm probably going to do. So I'll make a...
Politics content is very packed with meaning and complexity. I suspect perhaps that most folks can only consume it in smaller chunks focused on one or two cross-comparative key points. Shrug.
Yeah, and that's entirely rational. That makes them smarter than me. I'm the crazy one for watching politics and watching the news and thinking about these things all the time, and watching political live streams and doing one myself and talking to chat about every single little political thing. I'm unusual. I know this. And there are not a whole lot of people who want to watch that kind of content. There are some, but it's hard to get an audience, is what I'm saying. So maybe I watch some movies or something along those lines, look at art, TV, movies, things like that, because every 5 minutes there's another video on YouTube saying, this is woke now, and that's woke, and we hate the wokies, and the wokies ruined Star Wars, and the wokies ruined the boys.
I tune out when the topics leap from one to another. I am good at it, but too many folks lose their tracking and make politics discussion less valuable.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So what I might do is ask the chat in the Discord and the people what movie I should watch, and then I'll talk about it on the Saturday stream and the politics involved.
I call woke as clear-eyed time to stop using crypto speak to convey meaning.
I agree with you. The whole wokeism idea is nonsense. It just means, honestly, I honestly, it kind of means polite. Clear-eyed, I think, is a good term as well. What does woke mean? Well, it just means... I am
clear-eyed.
Yeah, it just means that you understand other people's feelings. That's all it means. And I think that that's a good thing, that you understand other people and their feelings and the way that their perception of the world, it's putting yourself in other shoes, which is a good thing, I think. But what that leads to is people trying to make content that appeals to people who aren't straight white men. So that leads to your Star Wars arguments. That leads to, the chicks ruined it, man. I think Cartman talked about it too. The chicks ruined it. They put chicks in Star Wars.
Without empathy as a very useful skill set, it's difficult to argue any moral or ethical stance ID offer.
I agree with you there, but you know who doesn't agree? Conservatives. They think that those moral stances are given to you by God and written down in the Bible, and you just have to follow them. No empathy needed. No morality. No understanding of somebody else's position. The Bible tells you so that's what you're going to do. And I don't think that's a good plan anyway. So, yeah, what I think I'm going to do is put up a post in the Discord and then ask everybody what movies or TV I should watch to analyze politically. And then I'll put that video at the end of next Saturday. I'll do all the news like I did today. And then next Saturday, I will go over that movie or piece of art or TV show or something like that, so that I can turn it into a YouTube video that gets views, and then more people show up, and then everybody's happy.
Putting the conservatives in the spotlight for their arguments is what makes them sweat bullets. Megadeth. Okay, movie vid to analyze sounds good. Yeah.
So whatever movie or video you can think of, if you're watching, if you have a specific movie that you'd like discussed or looked at, put it into the Discord. I might start a new channel for things Waldo should watch, and then tell me what you think I should watch or what I should analyze politically. And that's what I'll do. Is I won't just say, hey, yeah, it was a good movie. I'll just be like, okay, here's the politics involved with that, just like I did with the Star Wars video. I looked at the politics involved and then thought about what it meant and stuff like that. So Is it woke? maybe that would be the title. Is it woke? But I don't think so. I think it'll be pop politics or something like that. I'll name it Pop Politics or something along those lines. We'll do a pop politics segment.
I'd like to see a conservative's viewpoint and solutions to prison rape culture.
Well, the conservative I invite on my show all the time is named Thomas. You might have seen him in some other live streams. He is on every once in a while. He has a real life and a job and all that fun stuff, so he doesn't have as much free time as I do. He's got a more demanding job than I do. And he tells me all kinds of things, but if I had to...
I caught Thomas a little once.
Yeah. If I had to assume and I'm not saying this is Thomas's position, but a typical conservative right-wing person's idea on the prison culture that you're talking about would say that they wouldn't care. Those are bad guys who did bad things. They don't deserve to be treated properly, and they deserve any bad thing that happens to them.
Or
Generally.
the topic of spouse poaching.
Spouse poaching? I don't know what that is. What's a spouse poaching? I mean, like... I don't know what that is. I've never bumped into that. I have no political view yet on spouse poaching until you just describe the term to me.
The rape culture in prison extends outside of the prison and leaks into society. To disregard it is irresponsible.
I agree that it is irresponsible, but they are an irresponsible bunch of people. I think most conservative positions are irresponsible. Yes. Or they're putting their priorities in the wrong order.
When machismo-based Latin cultures and men go find couples and poach the girlfriend or wife.
Oh, I don't. Is that an issue? Is that a problem? I don't know that that's happening in America. I've never heard anyone bring it up before. Like in a kidnapping situation? Like they're... They find a couple and they kidnap the wife and then they ransom her back. Is that what we're talking about? I don't know what we're talking about. But if it hurts the wife's freedom, then I'm against it. As usual, I'm just interested in human freedom.
I've seen people talk about it. I am not sure it's an issue, not kidnapping, but more like seduce the women who are in unhappy relationships. It's predatory behavior.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds like creeper behavior, so I'm not for it. But if they're not harming anybody, predation is slightly harmful.
A man that's incapable of acquiring a relationship on his own merits turns to the opportunity to poach a wife that's having a hard marriage.
If he's capable of poaching a wife, isn't he just capable of getting his own girlfriend? That's weird. I'm not saying that you're wrong or this isn't an issue. It's just that I've never heard of anything like this, and it sounds like something that someone would be afraid of that isn't a real thing. I'm not saying that it isn't a real thing. What am I saying? I'm saying that, like, this might be similar to those trad wives you see on TikTok who tell you 17 ways to lock your hotel room door because you're going to get kidnapped and sex trafficked from the Walmart parking lot in Idaho. You know, that's not how that works. That's not how that happens. There are middle-class white women wandering around terrified in middle America because they think that they're going to get kidnapped and sex trafficked because they watch too much TV.
Not at all women that are under duress are feeling the stress of marriage and life than some. Smooth talkin' Latino comes along as one example and exploits the situation to appear like a hero. Save.
Okay. Well, I don't like deception, so this sounds like a bad plan. I've never heard about it, but I can look into it later. What movie or TV show would you suggest I watch and then politically analyze? I did Star Wars the other day, and I've done the other Star Wars Star Wars movies before. It's a good place to start. And the iron's hot for that one. But, I mean, The Boys, I suppose, is the other hot one that's all over the news today. What's another one? Spinach, there we go.
Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank Redemption. There's a lot of politics in that one too, I suppose. I need a duplicator and the tiramisu. So dupe and tiramisu. The duplicator, tiramisu. Where are you? There you are. There we go. Yeah, Shawshank has a ton of politics involved. Could do that. I haven't seen it in many, many years, so I'd have to rewatch it this week and then think about what specifically the message they're giving you. Because I think that's important. Art is giving you a message, right? All art has a message, whether you agree with it or not. And I think that that's an issue that the conservatives actually have. The Republicans don't know that their art has a message because they agree with the message so thoroughly, so deep in their bones. They agree with the message that they don't know that there is a message. And that's an issue I think happens with a lot of media, or the message is subtle and they just don't know that it's there, but it's there. All art has a message. If it doesn't have a message, then it's not art, is it? If you're not trying to convey something to the audience, to the observer, you're not making art.
Being John Malkovich.
Being John Malkovich, I could watch that one and talk about the politics of that, see if there's any politics in there. I watched, what was it, the one that had Obama's name on it on Netflix. God, what was the name of that movie? It was, I'll look it up later. But anyway, it had his name on it, and it was on Netflix, and it was about the end of the world.
Have you watched any of the Archer adult movies?
Archer adult movies? Like Archer, I don't know what Archer, the cartoon?
Archer cartoon adult.
Yeah. I've seen, I think, all the way up until like Dreamland. I want to say this. That was several seasons in. It was fun. It was silly. It was a good time. It had memes. It had jokes. It was all right. Is there politics involved with that? Definitely, for sure. Lots of it. They were named ISIS. I mean, before ISIS was a thing. Poor bastards had to change their name, but that wasn't good for their PR team, you know. And then there's a ton of family dynamics and stuff like that, as well as mother-daughter. He's way too attached to his mom, that kind of thing. Oh, look at that laser beam. That's a cool laser beam. I like that. Now it bounces. Oh, my God. I like the laser gun. And then what else is on Archer? They've got sexual dynamics between him and his girlfriend. They've got the gay character. So definitely some politics there. Some homophobia, some fat shaming of Pam.
They're always drunk.
They're always drunk. Political choice there. Yeah. So yeah. And I'm not saying all those things are bad. That makes for a TV show. That makes for a story.
There's robots and humans transcendence.
Yeah, human has sex with a robot. I mean, is that how? What are the politics of that? Are they allowed to get married? She's a robot, right? But she's mostly human. She's a cyborg. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Lots of politics to argue about there. I agree. I think you're onto something. But which ones will Waldo ignore? Which problematic things will Waldo ignore because it's funny? I watch lots of problematic shows, but I don't let it control me. You know? Does Archer do homophobic and fatphobic and transphobic things? Yeah, he probably does.
The gods must be crazy.
The gods must be crazy. Which one is that? Is that one from the 70s? Where they have to race? Or is that something else?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I saw it on TV like when I was a kid. I was never super interested in it, but there might be something going on there.
Bottle drops out of the sky and creates evil.
Okay. Weird. Okay. Okay, so those two are ready. Evolved spread gun, okay.
Someone throws a Coke bottle out of the sky, bonks one of the natives on the head. It's about the conflict of modern society and life in the bush, quite political.
Oh, okay. Well, that could be fun too, yeah. And that's the point I'm coming to, is that every piece of art...
funny too.
Yeah, art has a message. Every piece of art has a message, even if it's a painting of a pretty mountain at sunset. The message is, hey, look at this pretty sunset. Not a whole lot of political going on with a painting of a mountain. It looks pretty. But any kind of art has a message. And what is that message? All messages are political. All messages are political, even if it's don't step on the snakes. That's political. You know, you don't want people to die from
Have you seen
stepping on
Bartleby?
snakes.
I prefer not to.
Have you seen Bartleby? I don't know who or what that is. No idea.
Bartleby the Scrivener is a short story by Herman Melville first published in 1853. It is one of Melville's most famous works and is often interpreted as a profound critique of the modern work plaque.
And the dehumanizing effects of capitalism. Yeah, I could read that. I do read a lot of things, but I've never read that. And yeah, right up the politics alley, capitalism. This guy is saying how miserable it is to work. A wagey cagey job from 9 to 5 for barely enough money so that
Just
you can...
throwing ideas like you asked.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it. That's good. I'm going to watch this back later and write them all down and see if I can't create a video about all of them. And that's a whole lot of Saturdays to talk about. So the plan is to next Saturday do the same thing I did today, but instead of playing a video game at the end, I bring up one of those topics, one of those things that you mentioned, or a movie that everybody wants me to watch, and then look at the politics of it. Because it's art, and all art has messages, and all messages
the movie
are
Jaws,
political.
the politics of public safety to money.
There you go. See, there's politics there. That mayor in Jaws does not want. He's ignoring reality. He's gambling. You know, he's saying it's too important. We cannot cancel this this function of the beach. We will go bankrupt. We need that money, and people die. That's a message right there. Gambling with people's lives to make money is acceptable, and the way that they ought to be, the way our society ought to be run. That sounds like a bad way to run the society, but it seems like that's what we're doing anyway, isn't it?
Factotum and all of the intricate nuances of Bukowski.
I don't even know what words you're talking. Too highbrow for me. I don't know factotum, and I don't know Bukowski.
Factotum is a movie Bukowski the author.
Okay. Entirely unaware of those things. But I can look them up. Good suggestions. I like it. Thank you. Good job. I appreciate it. Because I was struggling to think
Find
of
what
things.
you love and let it kill you, Bukowski.
Find what you love and let it kill you. Okay. I like that. That sounds like it's something an author would say.
What matters most is how well you walk through the fire.
Okay. How you walk through the fire. Not the fact that you're going to, because you have to. Okay. I can appreciate that.
An intellectual says a simple thing in a hard way. An artist says a hard thing in a simple way.
Shit, he's on to something there. I think you're right. It's Optimus Prime.
When I was really slurping down the sauce, identified with the character in Factotum, Mad Dillon.
Okay. Yeah, identify, and that's the point of the art, is to make you identify, make you feel like the person involved. Which then leads to the wokeism again. It all comes back around. I mean, why would Disney make a movie about a bunch of lesbians? Well, because some of their audience is lesbians. Why would Disney make a movie about...
This character was very disgusting, P.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe that's the issue that's an issue for you, I suppose. The movie, what was the movie? Moana. Why would Disney make a movie about a brown Pacific Island girl? Well, because some of their audience is that, and they identify with it. They appreciate it. Identifying with the media is part of the reason that you make media, is so that people can feel things. That's why artists do it. It's not why the company does it. The company does it to turn a buck. I dig that.
I've watched Moana approximately 24 times. It's a great escape of sorts.
Right. And it has more meaning and more importance to people who identify with the main character. I like all these laser beams. I've got so many lasers. Just makes me feel good to have all the laser beams. More drones. Now I got 4 drones. Can I get more than 4? 4 drones. Yes. I don't think I can. Is it possible to get 6 drones? I might go 6 drone build next run.
It's been a while, but some of the older North Korean ancient stories have such strong political influence. Their architecture and clothing styles were so pristine and refined.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the old North Korean tales. I'm entirely ignorant of such a thing. But it sounds neat. I don't think this is the boss. In about 5 minutes, I think the boss opens up, and then I go kill the boss. We're going to stay in the middle of the map until that happens. I think it's right here anyway.
BBIAB.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to do this for about 5 more minutes and then call it off myself. So, because I am getting hungry. I got to eat. And I'm not going to eat on stream like some kind of monster. Kind of disgusting beast eats on stream.
Cool, thanks for the chat's exchange of ideas.
Yeah, it's always fun. This is the reason I do it. This is why I want to do it. Is because it's fun to talk to people and get their ideas. Is the ultimate flex on this game. Is what you do is you get so good at it that you don't have to hold the controller anymore. You just sit completely still. And the enemies can't come anywhere near you. The game is designed that way. Like, it wants you to get this good. It wants you to beat it harder. This game wants to be hit. Because it likes it. I wish I didn't have to aim the drones, though. Like, I wish they would spin. Or aim the other direction. Aim away from me, that would be nice. At least I think that boss is coming up soon. Maybe it's a 25-minute mark. Or is it 28? I don't remember. It's one or the other. Kind of like this Contra expansion. It was pretty good. It had a whole bunch of characters, a whole bunch of new guns, fun stuff, new maps. And so what I'll do, I'll get all of the unlocks on this game, and then maybe I'll go check back in on what was that other one that I played? It was very similar, but it was a Diablo 2 style. Gates of Torment, Plains of Torment. I don't remember. But I'll go play that one after this, because hopefully they'll have an update, and then by the time I'm done with their update, this one will have an update, or the other game will have an update. So I'll just play updates. This is the way now. You get like 3 games, and you play through their update, and then when you're done with it, you go to the other game and you play their update. Oh, turtle. The armadillo is here. We're going to immediately murder him. Yeah. I'm pushing it backward. The force of my laser beam. Just moonwalking. Poor little turtle armadillo monster. You're dead. Didn't stand a chance. Why would they send you out here? You did not stand a chance. Do I have something else to evolve? Oh, the claw, I think. Oh, the saber thingy. Okay. That's a lot of lasers. That's so many lasers. It's like too many lasers. That's so many lasers. If I spin it fast enough, you get a laser in every direction. Yeah, there we go. Should be a boss pop up. I guess it's at the minute 28 rather than 25 or 26. So another minute, and then we'll have a boss. We'll kill the boss. And then unlock a new character, I think. We'll play that new character. A huge alien cyborg presence is detected in the northeast of Neo City. Attack it aggressively. Okay. If you say so, boss. It is... Oh, it's way up there. I'm way off. Not even close. I'm going to have to run. I can't see where I'm going. Too many lasers. Blocking the screen. Can't see. Still over there. Can't see the ground. Kind of have to look at the map to divine my position. Try and stick to the streets. A little bit higher than that street lamp there. Go all the way over here. We'll fight the Contra boss. I would love for it to be a different boss for every character, but I don't think it is. Where? Oh, it's in that building. I have to go down into the building. Oh, I have to go around this building. I'm stuck in traffic.
Yo.
Oh, hi. How's it going? I appreciate you being here, but I'm only going to stream for another 5-10 minutes.
Going good.
I'm going to finish off this boss right here, and then I was about to call it, because I got to eat lunch. Oh, there's
Fair
the
enough.
boss. There he is. Look at him. Come here, boss. I can jump on the wall. Pow. Wall jump. Do a little spin wall jump. Pow. Alien. Head monster. Except that he's going to die real fast, because I am real good at this game. Oh, fire. Running on the ceiling. If you stop moving on the ceiling, you fall. Just like in real life. That's true of reality as well. You can run up the wall as long as you don't slow down.
How the fuck can you see what's happening?
It is not. It's a you can't. But I've been playing it for many hours, so I kind of have a gist of what's going on. Backflips, 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 backflips. Dancing in the fire, and then we do backflip. Pow, fool, pow. The answer is lots of practice. And then the Grim Reaper comes to take him away. Finished here. Greetings, death. He's yours to take away.
So it's like my Beat Saber, my dad can't even see what is going on with the notes, but I can read it.
Yeah, exactly.
Check out Waldo's videos, https://www.youtubecom at Waldo Videos.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. You get good at it, and then you don't. It becomes a subconscious thing, you know. Did I unlock anybody? Why didn't I unlock Brad?
Fair enough.
Or Brownie or Sheena? How do I unlock these characters? Brad, find the open coffin in the hectic highway. I don't have the hectic highway. Evolve the firearm, which is from Brad, and this is evolve the sonic boom from Brownie. So do I have the hectic highway open now? It is. The hectic highway is open. Exciting. But that is it for me today. I am done with stream. I am starving to death, and I'm not going to eat on stream like some sort of disgusting animal. My name is Waldo, and I have done some politics today. If you'd like to watch my old videos and stuff like that, you can do so right here at the YouTube. Go there. Tell me what you're thinking. Tell me what you're feeling. If you want to tell me what to talk about, we had one guy drop a manifesto into the Discord today. So if you missed that.
Discord. https Discord GG Beignet Tritix 8.
There's a manifesto in Discord that I took a look at on stream. If you want to link your manifesto, do so, and I'll take a look at it. We'll grade it, I suppose. So yeah, that's it for me today. I appreciate everybody who was here today. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for being around. Tell me how you're feeling. Tell me how what you're thinking in the Discord. And that is it for me today. I will be back on Monday night at about 7 p.m. Pacific, PST, Monday night, 7, yeah. And then we've got the debate coming up on Thursday. So Thursday is the presidential debate. I'd love for you to come and watch it with me. That'll be a good time. That's it for me. Have a good day. Goodbye.